Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Now I've had a couple of messages off people recently asking about what my favourite sim racing gloves are, what do I recommend, because I am constantly trying different ones, and so I thought, well, I've actually collected more than I thought, so I got them all out and thought, well, maybe it's worth doing a little video on what my thoughts are. And to be clear, you don't need to buy gloves that are labelled as sim racing gloves. There's actually only one pair here that is from Simhound that have been made specifically for sim racing. Most of these are motocross gloves, mountain biking gloves and karting gloves. So I've tried quite a few now. Every time there's a sale on, whether it's on Amazon or Sports Pursuit, I've had some of these from. Just have to try another pair or two. So yeah, quite the collection here. Now it looks weird because I'm holding a wheel with one glove on. There's a reason for that. I've just put the glove on. I'll just get to that in a minute. So what I usually look for with gloves, first thing is obviously comfort, especially because I'm always looking at this in regards to endurance racing. So sometimes you can be sat there for hours, and if your gloves aren't comfortable, your hands are going to suffer. Especially at my age, where your hands start to hurt. So yeah, comfort. The thickness of the palm comes into it. I don't like it when the palm is really thick. The reason I say that is when you make a fist, as if you're clutching a wheel, with nothing on your hand, you don't need to use any kind of strength or force to close your hand. So you can sit like that for hours and your hand won't hurt. When you've got a glove on and there's a thick palm, quite often you have to exert a lot of pressure just to close your hand. So you're not just squeezing the wheel with the amount of force you need to hold it, you're also overcoming the force of a glove being thick, so your hands will tire faster. So right, now let's just... These are the Alpine Stars F Light. When I first got these, I only got them for £7 from Sports Pursuit. I put them on and they're great, you know, they're thin enough, they're breathable, just a nice fit. But then I did a long race with them and I couldn't wait to get them off. And the reason is, I don't know how well you can see that, but just a couple of minutes, and I can't tell if you can see that properly or not. Round here, the stitching, because these have this extra padding right here, the stitch of that just digs into your hand on the back of your thumb. So I've only used them a couple of times because of that. That stitching is pretty uncomfortable. So another Alpine Stars set. These are pretty good. These are the Alpine Stars Aspen Plus. So they have this extra stitching here because these are for mountain biking. You've got the extra patch of stitching here and also around the thumb, a bit like the other one, but you don't really feel the stitching much in this. And these are the XL. They're quite hard to get on because they're, you know, they're stretchy. There's no sort of clasp at the back, but once they're on, they're pretty comfy. And with this extra padding, if you've got a wheel where the grips feel a little too thin and you'd like them to be thicker, then that extra padding does make it feel like you're holding a slightly bigger wheel. But there is a bit of force. It's fairly... These are well protected, I suppose, for going out on a bike. You know, they're probably great. But yeah, you have to overcome a bit of force with the extra padding. There's some good thickness there. So these are pretty good. I think I paid £9 for these in one of the bank holiday sales from Sports Pursuit. So I go on there now and again and just grab some cheap gloves to try. So that's the Aspen. Right, let's have what else is there? So there's touchscreen as well, whether you're able to use the touchscreen, because you know, quite often you need it while you're racing if you need to like pop onto Discord or whatever. Most of these work really well with the touchscreen. The only ones that are a bit tricky are the Sparcos. So these are, both these pairs are the same. These are the Sparco Meca. And the reason that I've brought both of them out I'll put one on. You have the Velcro clasp there. These are the XL size, and they're plenty spacious enough. They're actually quite good. Fairly thick padding, so bit of force to overcome there. But overall pretty comfy. You do feel the stitching, especially around the fingers on these. It's not irritating, it's just that you notice it's there. And if the feel of stitching irritates you, then you might not want to go with these. Sparco do a huge range of gloves that I've not tried. But you see how thick this the palm is. And these, although it will work a touch screen if you press it in the right way, you can't be accurate because you need to touch the flat bit. The tip doesn't really do anything on a touch screen. Yeah, these Sparco ones, what did I pay for them? They're around £32.50. I paid a little less for these because they were on offer at the time. So they're pretty good. There's one thing that bothers me, and that's the reason why I'm showing both pairs, to show you that it does it on both pairs. I don't know how well you can see it. If I hold that up there, and you see where the stitching, well, it's not the stitching, it's the fabric is, maybe I'll see it better on these because of the contrast. Can you see where the fabric is pulling out, and it's doing it really bad on the thumb? See all the frayed bits, like bobbles. What's happening there is, when you take them off, and you've got a glove on each hand, and you go to do the Velcro, the loop part of the Velcro is pulling the fibres out. Not really something you can stop it doing. I mean, it doesn't render them useless, but I thought that's worth mentioning because I'm a bit picky and things like that do bother me. But good gloves, you know, they're not bad for the money. And here's trouble. So where are we now? Let's go to something else that I think is quite important, is whether they're keyboard friendly. What I mean there is when you're racing, if you need to type on a keyboard or hit a certain key for whatever reason, if the gloves are really thick around the fingers, it's hard to hit a specific key. You can end up hitting a bunch of them. So that's another consideration. Now, these are just some generic Voodoo gloves. They haven't really even got a name, they're just called Voodoo XL. And I got these from Halfords for about 15 quid, I think. And these aren't bad. The finger area is extremely thick, but they do work on a touch screen. But the padding is so thick, you need a lot of force to do that. And I know just using it on my bike, my hands hurt after a bit, because there's just so much padding. Very well protected, and they've got these rubber raised pieces here to, you know, protect your knuckles. So yeah, all right for mountain biking, not so much for sim racing. And I mean, these are kind of, I think they feel slightly better made than the Sparcos, and the fibres don't start getting pulled out because it's a different material. It's very stretchy on the back. So yeah, they're not bad. Alright, so now to my favourites. Now, I love these Simhound gloves. The only thing, I mean, they look great, they're made great. Only thing, they don't fit amazing. I think I should have gone one size up. I did measure my hands, and the XL looked to be perfect, but I think I need them a tiny bit bigger. They just don't feel, you know, perfect. You don't feel the stitching too bad around the fingers. They're very comfortable. These work a touchscreen really well, and they're thin enough that they're not too bad to type with. Not perfect, but you know, you can type with them. So the only thing with this nylon, I guess, sort of stretchy fabric on the back looks lovely. I mean, it really does. But when you do that, when you're holding a wheel and you're moving your fingers to change gear, each time I move my fingers in and out like that, this seems to just be rubbing on the back of my hand, and it's kind of irritating. Now it may be that I just need one size up. I will get another set at some point. I'll go a size up. But yeah, these were 25 quid, and for 27.50 you can get the external stitched ones. I did actually order external stitched, but these came instead. That they're not the externally stitched ones. But I mean, to be honest, the stitching isn't that irritating on them. It just kind of rubs the back of my hand. It's almost like a very fine wet and dry bit of the 1500 sandpaper just rubbing, and it's just really want to love these because they are gorgeous, especially for the price. I'm going to reserve judgment until I've tried a bigger size, but I think these could be one of my favourites. I just need to try an external stitched one that's a size up. So I would recommend them. I mean, they're really popular. I mean, that's why I bought them, because there's quite a few people I know that use them and love them. But yeah, I mean, even now, just holding it, then I can just feel kind of an itchiness. Okay, 2 lots left. Now these are the ones I've used the most. These are the Fox Airline. I've used these so much that I've actually torn a bit of stitching there on these ones. These are the XL, these are the double XL. I got both sizes because the XL felt tight to begin with, and then after a couple of weeks the fit is just perfect, and they're so thin, force needed to close your hand. They are just brilliant. They're made of neoprene, you know, like a wetsuit kind of material, and they've got lots of all of these rubbery bits around here. It works well on a touch screen, and these are the best for typing so far. You can type fairly easy without hitting the wrong keys. Breathability wise, the palms are breathable, but that doesn't really matter because when you're holding the steering wheel, they're not going to breathe when you're holding the steering wheel. But yeah, brilliant. So price wise, what did I pay? I got these for around 21 quid to 26 quid for each pair, depending on when I bought them. I've got a couple of pairs from Fox themselves, and the other couple, I got 3 pairs from Amazon. Sometimes Amazon's cheaper than Fox, so it's worth checking both. And yeah, these are just, oh, they're amazing. So the double XL, exactly the same thing. These ones are probably my most used pair now. Double XL feels a tiny bit on the big side, but just so nice. Your hands don't feel fatigued when you're holding onto a wheel for them long stints. It just, yeah, spot on. The only thing they could do to improve this is if the backs of the fingers and the back of the hand was breathable, so that you could feel a fan blowing on them or something. Your hands do get quite hot with most of these gloves, because they all breathe around the palm. Okay, so my new favourites, at least I think they're my favourites. I haven't used them as much yet. They're a little bit more expensive. These are the flexairs, kind of a step up from the Fox Airline, and they're a bit thicker, a bit more padding. Only a tiny bit more though. They're a little bit thicker than the Airline. They're not as thick as the others. So these are the XL ones, and they've got a clasp at the cuff. And oh god, these are just, I mean, they're so close to perfect. I absolutely love these. I paid 46, I think, for these, and sometimes you can get them on Amazon. Like at the moment, I did some checking around earlier. There's they've got double XL size, which is a size up from this, for 27 quid, which is a bit of a bargain. It's almost tempting to grab another colour just to have one size up to try them. But the fit on these is, you know, it's perfect. It's not the neoprene backing like on the Airline, but they're just, yeah, I love these. And around the backs of the fingers, they've got all the holes so that there's breathing, and it is enough that you feel it. When I've got the fan on next to me, I do feel that breeze going across my hands. So yeah, my personal #1 recommendation would be the flexair or the airline. If you want a bit of extra breathing around the backs of your fingers, then these are the daddy at the moment. Yeah, if you can get these cheap, then I'd absolutely grab some. You know, the only thing is that I did, you know, I don't know how because these are so thin. I mean, it didn't take that long for me to make that hole there. It's basically stitching that's come away. Hasn't happened on any of the others, but just thought I'd point that out. So I will definitely try a larger size external stitch version of these, and I'll let you know how I get on with them. Because I want to use these, but it's just irritating the back of my hand. So yeah, that's about it, I think. I've covered everything that I can think of, so hopefully this will be of use to someone out there. And yeah, don't get tricked into thinking you have to buy sim racing gloves, because mountain biking, there's such a huge range of mountain biking gloves and a lot of them are cheap as well. So yeah, but if you're going to go for sim racing specific ones that say sim racing gloves, these Simhound ones are really nice. Just need to try another pair, and then I'll get back to you on it. So yeah, that's about it. So I'll put some Amazon links in the description, affiliate links for any of these that are on there, just in case you want to click straight from there. And that's about it. If you got any questions, just ask away, and if I can help, I certainly will. So right, thanks very much for coming along, and I shall see you soon. Take care.